ever say, I'm sorry, I didn't know. If you think there's signs and symptoms, help them. We gave you all the phone number. Please call it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this episode, and we look forward to speaking with you guys next week. Y'all have a blessed day.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? You see, when I was trying to get my podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. I mean, a lot of questions. Questions like, how do I record an episode? Or how do I get my show into all the apps that people use to listen to podcasts? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is completely 100% free and super easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that is exactly what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So if you always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to Anchor. Go to anchor.fm/start and join me in a diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I cannot wait to hear your podcast.
Greetings. This is Steve Selyards, the author of the GA Junkie, and here are some Presbyterian history notes for the week of September 29th. Sunday, September 29th. In 1802, the Synod of Pittsburgh was organized and held their first meeting. The Synod was formed from 3 presbyteries that came from the Synod of Virginia. This was the first PCUSA Western Synod established on the frontier. Monday, September 30th. John Samuel McIntosh was born on this day in 1839 in Philadelphia. He grew up in Philadelphia, and as a young man he moved with his family to Ireland. He finished college and ministry training in Ireland and Scotland. He considered a Scottish Free Church pulpit, but chose instead to serve in Ireland. He later accepted a call to Second Presbyterian Church in Philadelphia and remained there the rest of his life. Tuesday, October 1st. On this day in 1529, the Marburg Colloquy began at Marburg Castle in Hesse, Germany. At this 4-day meeting, Martin Luther and Ulrich Zwingli tried to unify Protestant theology, particularly concerning the Lord's Supper. While the debate was respectful, no agreement could be reached. Some of those involved saw political advantages to unifying the Lutheran and Reformed branches, including the host, Philip of Hesse. Luther wanted to keep politics out of it, but was eventually persuaded to participate. Zwingli, however, appreciated the political advantages of an agreement. Wednesday, October 2nd. In 1929, the General Assemblies of the Church of Scotland and the United Free Church of Scotland joined together. This partially healed the split from the disruption of 1843, as well as the Relief Church split in 1761, and a piece of the Seceder Church which split in 1732. Thursday, October 3rd. In 2001, a group of 3 churches in Germany associated with the Presbyterian Church of Ghana met and formed their own district, covering the country of Germany. Other PCG worshiping communities joined them in the next few years, and today the PCG Germany district has 14 worshiping groups that are part of its organization. Friday, October 4th. On this day in 1749, commissions from the Synod of New York and the Synod of Philadelphia held their first meeting to discuss reunion, but without agreement at that meeting. It would take another 8 years to heal the old side-new side split. Saturday, October 5th. Jonathan Edwards was born on this day in 1703. He is one of the great American theological and philosophical minds of the 18th century. Edwards was a pastor in Massachusetts and was known for his revivalist preaching across New England as part of the Great Awakening. After a falling out with his congregation, he pastored another church in the region and was a missionary to the Housatonic Band of Indigenous Peoples. He was persuaded to accept the position of the president of the College of New Jersey, but died from smallpox inoculation very shortly after taking up that office. Thank you for joining me here on the EAR podcast, and I look forward to joining you again next week.
you have reached the end of yet another episode from The Ear. We hope that God's Word remains on the ears of the listeners. We pray that this podcast would urge you to go forth and spread His good news to the world. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. See you at the next episode. God bless you, and may His glory shine upon you.